Did you know that you can turn this into one of the most amazing natural fats for both cooking and skincare? I'm going to show you my favorite method for rendering beef fat into tallow. So I'm going to start by putting my beef fat pieces into my crock pot. The next step is to add some salt. Now this can just be cheap table salt. So what this salt is going to do again is pull the impurities from the tallow into the water. I use anywhere from like a couple tablespoons to maybe even a quarter of a cup. And then the amount of water is not crucial either, except you do want to make sure that the water does not totally evaporate during the rendering process. The job of the water is to keep everything very gentle and to keep the tallow from burning. So we just add a lid, plug this in, turn it on low, and it's going to start to render. I'm going to show you what this looks like at this point when the fat chunks have gotten a great first step of progress of rendering, and they're ready to be whizzed up with the immersion blender. So I started this about 24 hours ago when I first put the raw beef chunks into the crock pot with the salt and water. About 12-ish hours later, roughly, it was ready to whiz up with the immersion blender. And then roughly 12-ish hours from there, it's ready to go ahead and strain. The tallow is on the top, and then underneath that is the water with all the other things, the trimmings, connective tissue, everything that's not tallow. And then you can either let it continue to solidify and cool on the counter if you're not in any hurry, or you can move it into the fridge or freezer to solidify more quickly. The tallow is solidified. You can see how it is all nice and hard at the top of the bowl. Okay, and now you can see the bottom of that, but we just want to scrape the brown off so that we get rid of those impurities. And for the purifying process, it's very similar to the first step that we did when we rendered the first time. We're just going to put our tallow into the crock pot, and then we're going to add the same things that we did the first time as well. Some salt, and then plenty of water. And this time, the purifying step takes quite a bit less time compared to rendering. Once it's come up to a simmer, the tallow is fully melted and it's at a good simmer, then I like to let it go for about an hour. And I'm just going to ladle this through. This is finished solidifying in the fridge. And the bottom of the tallow cake has almost nothing this time. So that tells me that this purification step is likely all that I need. But that is the process. I've been so happy with it. I know so many other people love this process too.